mine! You did it. You cut up his brain, you bloody baboon! We thank thee for always watching over us and keeping us right.
Hey, Arthur, is everything okay?
We drove around all day and there's not a single job in this town. There is nothing, nada, zip. Yeah, unless you want to work 40 hours a week.
Okay, Diego, we are online, so can you please introduce yourself?
Yeah. Hello, everyone. I'm Diego Porral. I'm a Spanish animator. I studied the international course at Coblin, where Edward studies also. I graduated last summer, and since then I moved to London to freelance as an animator. Go, okay. So since I moved to London, I've been working for studios such as The Line, Golden Wolf, Sun Creature, and Nexus, and I'm also working on my own short film at the moment. And that's everything. Thank you for having me.
Sergey asking, do we will start already with feedback? Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, we can start. Can you wait for a second? Diego, can you tell me please who will be first student that you will give the feedback?
Like Karina, for example.
Karina. Okay, we will show just her works for all public, and then we can start. Okay, we can show Karina's demo reel later, and now you can start already do it. So you can share your screen, please.
Yeah. Okay. So I think to start with, both are very nice reels. They're very short, which is nice, and they have exercises which show what you need to show, so they're not repetitive or anything like that. Yeah. Okay. So I think one of the things I feel that it's important is that to try and imagine yourself as the recruiter from a studio. So if you are a recruiter and you are watching like 100 reels a day or 50 reels a day, you don't have a lot of patience. So you prefer reels that are very short and to the point. Yeah. Okay. So for example, here at the beginning, I know this is not very important advice, but you have a lot of time until you actually start seeing any animation. So at first you have the logo of the school, which if the school makes you put it, then it's okay. But if not, you can take it away. Or you can put it in this other one here. And I would add also, like it's an animation reel because studios receive like character design reels, 3D, rigging, stuff like that. Okay. So, okay, then after that, I added some notes before, and I can give you the files afterwards if you want. They're in English, but maybe you can translate. Okay. So in this first shot, where the mouse is like breathing, I think it's very nice how the chest seems to move before the head, and the head is like overlapping, which that's very nice. But I think because you have such few drawings, there's not many breakdowns and in between, you don't really appreciate the subtlety of this action. Like if you had more drawings in between, you could see more fluently how the chest is the one driving the motion. Yeah. So here I think there's a bit of loss of the volume of the head. Like it seems like her head shrinks down a bit, and the arm also. I know it's like very silly pointing out this thing, but in case you don't know it, there's this thing here called the out of peg feature, which is very useful to maintain the volumes of things. Like, if, for example, you draw your arm here, and then you go to the next frame here. So here you see the previous or the future drawing, right? So this one is easy to trace, but imagine if the arm was far away. With this feature here, you can move the arm. So and that way here you can draw like exactly the same proportions. And in reality, the actual drawing hasn't moved. It moved the way you see it in the future. Maybe you already knew this, but just in case. So for example, if you have your head here in one frame, and then your head in this one in the next keyframe, and you want to in between it, but it's hard to do it. Like maybe you draw it here and you lose the volume. What you can do is you move with this feature, you move this here, you move this here, and this way you do like a perfect in between, so it moves. So it's for things like this, for the head, so you don't lose the volume. I use it constantly to make sure, like things like this, like the head, you know, it stays within in model. Okay. So the next thing, I think the way he lands, it's very nice. I really like it. Like I like how he stretches here and then he lands. So I think this is the best part of this shot. Okay. Yeah. So in this shot right here, I know it's very fast and maybe you don't see it, but I noticed that I like that how the knife opens very quick. I like the way you time things. Timing wise is very nice. But well, sorry, you can translate it. Yeah. So here I see that you use the in between. So this is a keyframe and this one's a keyframe, but the in between you did for the hand is not an in between. It's like another keyframe. The hand is the same here and here. So because of this, I think there's a pop. So the hand pops. It's just like, you know. So this is just even though it can be as fast as you have it, it's fine. But if you made this in between of the hand, especially not the knife, a more 3/4 view, it would make a more fluent animation. Yeah. Okay. Other than that, it's very nice. Okay. So this is a very hard shot because like close-ups and subtle shots are the hardest. And I think it's nice, but again, because you lack in betweens and also breakdowns here, I think it seems like a bit stiff. Like if I play the whole thing. So with such a long shot, you only have 5 drawings, and even though with those drawings you tell everything you want to tell, the timing is not very specified because you only have such few drawings. So, for example, this pose, this head, when he sees the enemy, he reacts very fast. It's the shortest pose, and I think you need to give her more time here to react. Like when you see something, you realize what it is, and then you react. But I think it's too fast. Like she immediately is reacting to what she has seen. So don't be afraid on a demo reel to put shots that are not finished, like they can be rough or tie down, and that way it's better if you have more drawings in tie down than only 5 drawings cleaned and colored for a demo reel.
No.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so this shot is very nice. I really like this shot. Okay. I think again I would add more in betweens. I know I keep saying the same thing, but what I say here, you can, if you made it more rough, you can spend more time doing more drawings and specifying the animation rather than doing like a clean line with fewer drawings. Okay. So if you added more drawings like breakdowns, I would, for example, make her go down more, like more anticipation, because right now, because this pose is the lowest drawing, and then you go to here, and then to here. This one seems like it's taking all the strength from the shot. So if instead she went down further, like she went down like this, here, then there would be a bigger distance between this pose and this pose. And because she jumps so high afterwards, she needs like a very quick lift off. So you should hold here, not here. This should be a very fast drawing, and this you should hold here because this is the anticipation, not this. This is an in between. After that, all this is super nice. All the when she jumps and she flips, that's very nicely done. Well done. So this is a very nice shot. I don't have many things to say, but I can maybe point out some details if you want. So I think you're missing a breakdown here, not an in between, a breakdown, which is important because it's this drawing here is the information you need to show the timing. Like if the arm either like takes a long time to reach the ear, or it goes very fast and then slows down in the ear. Without this drawing, you don't know what speed the arm is going. And here I don't it's not like an animation thing, but if she just did the action of putting her hair back behind her ear, then this drawing, I guess the hair should be behind the ear, right? It shouldn't be like. Okay. And then the last thing is I would make a small squash as she puts her head down. There's like a small bounce. If not, it looks like she's like slowly putting her head, like if I played without that. It can be very subtle. It doesn't have to be very cartoon like that, you know, but maybe just a small, you know, resting back to where her head, you know, it's not like you slow down and then it's like when you're driving a car and you stop, it doesn't like stop you, you go like forward and back. So these shots are all very nice. I have nothing to say, like they're very impressive. And then the last shot is also very nice, well done. I think before giving feedback on this shot, I want to say that it seems your reel goes like the quality goes as you advance. Like your worst shots are the beginning with the mice, and your best shots are at the end. So if I'm a recruiter and this is the 80th reel I'm going on today, maybe I close it down before I reach this shot or the previous one. But if you put this shot of Scar and this one of Tangled, or this one even, before the mice, I'm engaged to watch more rather than you know closing the reel down. Yeah, the order is very important.
I have a question. So in the end, it should also be very good shot because it's last note, right?
Yeah, so the last one should be good, but the first one, I know people say the last one should be the best and the first one should be the second best, but for me, the first one should be the best. Even though, but what you have here is the first one is not the best anyway. So you can decide to put the best one at the end if you want, but at the beginning you also need a very good one. Yeah. And so you can, for example, put this one at the beginning, and then this one at the end, maybe.
So which first one? It's Rapunzel? Or...
Yeah, Rapunzel at the beginning, maybe. And just a small note, like a fun fact. When I was at the line, in front of me, I had the people who were reviewing shots, like reviewing candidates to hire. And I saw how when they were watching a few reels, before the reel finished, that like one of the directors tapped the other one and he went like that. And it's like, yes, hired, right? Yes, hired. So the reel hadn't even finished. They hadn't even seen his last shot. And they had already decided to hire him. Of course, this can change in different studios, but you know, people are very impatient nowadays. So the beginning is always important.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, the most important thing from your reel is that the music is so loud, I couldn't hear him speak. So it's good to have music, but whenever a character is speaking, you can lower the music to hear him speak and make sure, so I can see if the lip sync is working. Okay, so this is very nice. I'm gonna give the notes, but you know, it's still a very good shot. I'm just giving them to because you know to find something. So I think when he turns his head and he looks up, it seems like his head is turning like flat in 2 dimensions. You know, it's like if you got the model sheet of him in 3/4, and to make him look up, you just took that drawing and you turned him sideways. Yeah. So it's like look at my head. If I look up, to make that movement is very hard. You know, there's you turn your head in 2 axes. Like you go up, but also you know you can turn it like more profile, or depends on where you're looking, or more profile. You know, frontal profile. Not always in the same axis. Yeah. So I noticed this because the distance between the nose and the end of the face is always the same. Like if I move along. Again, this is very picky, but I'm just saying. So if a trick to make the head look like it's more profile, if it is playing with this distance. So if you made the end of the face here, then it looks like his head has also turned in another axis, not just in the 2D thing. Yeah. So it's like you only did. So you moved this line, that one moved, but this one stayed the same. And so if that's what I'm saying. I don't know if it's clear. Okay. Again, I really like the timing here. Like the way he goes down, you know, you speed it up, like, and here the in the middle he goes very fast, and then there's a very nice, you know, slow down onto his next pose. So very good. Well done. I really like this acting bit here, the eyes going up. So if I saw this at the beginning of your reel, not at the end, I would keep watching, and maybe with just 1 or 2 more exercises, I would decide to hire you or not. You don't need a lot of shots, you know, that worsen the quality of your overall reel. So I had a teacher from Disney that said that he was a character design teacher, and he said that a portfolio with 10 drawings, which 9 of them are excellent and 1 of them is bad, is not a 9 out of 10. It's an 8 out of 10 because the bad drawing takes away points. So for me, this is very nice. We would give a 10, but then the mice shots takes away points from this. Because if I hire you, I don't know if you're gonna do this, you know, the Shere Khan kind of stuff, or the mice kind of stuff. Yeah. But if I only see Rapunzel and Shere Khan, that's the only thing the quality I expect from you. Okay, so I don't remember how Shere Khan is from the side, so maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like he's losing a bit of volume here when he turns around. Yeah, towards the end, it seems like you lost motivation or something, and there's not as much work, I think, into making the animation work. Like there's a lot of small mistakes, like the thickness of the neck grows, his head here like does something very weird, but then you end up very nicely with this. I really like how you use the depth of camera and you come close to the camera. That's very nice. Okay. So yeah, I think that's all the comments I had on this reel. So the shots that are good are very good, and I would just reorder stuff and pay more attention, like in the volumes and in betweens at some points. But timing wise, timing is the most important thing, timing and poses. Timing wise, you really have like the grasp on it, so that's like half of the job done right there. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
What do you think from a side? What I should improve the most in my animation? I mean, in general, in life, like you see my demo reel, and what you will suggest to improve in general?
Okay. Well, I think because I know the characters, so I don't know this character, for example, but Rapunzel and Shere Khan I know. So I know you've picked the poses which exist already, which are like, if you have a model sheet, it's sometimes it can happen that if you don't know the character very well, you tend to use the model sheets a lot. So, for example, I recognize this drawing from Milkal. I recognize this one. Like, so I know you're using the model sheets, which is, of course, you have to use them. But it seems like sometimes you are afraid to draw them in the best pose possible, just because it's it's far away from a drawing that already exists. So that happens to me a lot as well. But what really helped is doing a bit of 3D animation, because when you do 3D animation, you're not afraid of not being able to draw the model well. So you pose the character in the best way you can. And then when you go back to animating in 2D, you're like, oh no, but the best pose is this one. I should be drawing this one. Is it because it's hard that I'm not doing it? Yeah. So other than that, everything's very nice. I would just, reorder the reel, maybe take away some shots or do more exercises, whatever you. Okay. That's more questions or?
For now, it's okay. Maybe later, if you will have a question, we can ask. And now we are going to watch Lara's demo reel, and then you can start with feedback.
Yeah.
There's only one rule. Are you ready? Here it is. There are no rules. Go!
Okay, we can start, I think.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. Okay, so again, congratulations on your demo reel. It's very nice. So I think the main thing I'm missing is, for me, the demo reel, a student demo reel needs two things: acting, one shot. There can be one shot of acting, which you have, and one shot of body mechanics to show you can handle like the weights of the body, or even a walk cycle or a jump or something like that. So because, and I think you're missing a body mechanics one, because you do have a shot of a whole body moving, but it's underwater, so it's a very specific circumstance. And it's a very nice shot. But I don't know if you're able to animate even just a walk cycle for someone, getting up of a chair, sitting down, like that's what I'm missing. I need to show you can do that. Yeah. So, for example, here, and then I don't know how it works in other parts of the world, because I've only worked in France and and England. But there's FX animators and then there's character animators. And you can do both, but normally you'll be hired to do one of them. So it's good to have FX in your reel, but it shouldn't be the main thing unless you want to be an FX animator. It's better to have acting and body mechanics. And then if you have FX, that's great, but you need those two. Okay, now onto the actual reel. Sorry. So the beginning is nice, the introduction. I'm just missing your contact info. Like if I really like a reel and I want to hire you, I can. Okay. So this is very nice. The cape is perfect. I have no comments on the cape. I just have comments on the hat he's wearing because I don't really understand the material it's made of. So if it's like a sturdy hat, like something made of leather or something strong, I think it's deforming too much, losing volume. But if it's not a hard material, if it's something like paper or leaves or something like that, then it should be moving with the same physics as the cape. So what I mean, if you just look at the hat, for example, it's moving just like sideways, you know? Like if the wind is only coming in, it's like a flat wind affecting the hat. It can be like the same way you're doing the cape, you know? The cape does feel like it's like a 3D object. And I think this is happening because the way you're in betweening curved lines, which in the cape you're doing well, but the way you're doing them in the hat is what is making it look just like a kind of like a flimsy object, like moving up and down. So if a curved object is, if you have like this, if this is your keyframe and this is your second keyframe, yeah. So the in between is like this. It's not like this. Even though a hat, if it's like if you're seeing the hat from above and then see it from below, at some point you will see it flat. In animation, we don't do this normally. Yeah. So we in between like this. So we go up here, and if you had like if wind came in to the hat, then it would first hit this part, right? And then it would move, the wind would move and leave this side, and it would move through the hat this way. So, but this is if the hat is made out of paper. Maybe you want it to be something strong, then it wouldn't move as much, but then you're losing volume. So that's why I meant that I don't know the material you're working with.
It's supposed to be from paper. Yeah.
Paper. Okay.
Yeah.
Then I would exaggerate more the wind you're doing, more the effect it has on wind. Same as here. I know it's just a detail, and maybe people don't look at it, but it's the way it goes back, like like the way it goes like that. I know you can do it because you've done it here, but here instead you went from here to here, just like you in between this way. You went like, and I would do more like this, like the wind is leaving the tip of the hat. So instead of just going back like that, you should maybe have like the wind leaving. So it's like the wind is under the tip, and then it's leaving the tip. So it drags it. The shape goes with it, Okay, but that's just a detail. The main thing, which is this is very good. So what I said here is that what I said before is that I'm missing some body mechanic shots. So maybe this exercise would be very nice if the panda was moving, like if he was jumping or fighting or something more subtle, maybe walking, and then the cape moves with his body and with the wind, but it's not like a still frame and just the cape moving. You can take the opportunity to tell more things in one single shot. Yeah. So it's better to have like 2 shots where you tell a lot of things than 10 shots where you tell one thing in each shot. So maybe he could start the shot, here, and he just walks to this point, just a small animation. But you're showing you can do like a normal walk cycle, and also you have the cape on top, which adds like to the animation. Okay, so this shot was very nice. The thing that I missed the most is the lip sync. If we listen to it. Can you hear my computer if I play it?
I think no. If you want to show us your sound, when you share the screen, there is a small like like to pick like show the sound.
Ah, okay. Let me see if I.
Yeah, and let's make a test. Maybe it will be too loud.
Yeah. Well, I can't find it, so maybe.
You have to turn it off. Like your screen, and then when you do it again, there is in the bottom.
Yeah, okay, it's fine. It's not necessary. I think.
Okay, yeah.
With the microphone.
Mm-hmm. But we can anyway. We can hear something.
Okay. There's only one rule. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay. So for example here, there's only one rule. He says there's only one rule, right? Or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But if you look at his mouth, there's only one rule. It's not moving. It's just like a slow in between like that to a closer mouth, like There's only one rule. Yeah. All this is just the same mouth. So if I was deaf and I was doing lip reading, I would just hear like ooh all the time. Because like for example, when you do the E's and I's, your mouth stretches. So when you say only, you go from O, which you have, then the N you close a bit, and then the E it stretches horizontally. And here you just keep the same width of the mouth and mostly the same, also open. Okay. So I suggest what you can do is you can record just your face, saying the words, but with the same timing as he does. You don't have to even say them. You can just play them on the background and just mimic with your mouth what he's saying. And that way you can use yourself as reference for the lip sync. In lip sync, some words are very important. It's the most important words is when your mouth closes. If like when you have an M or a P, if you don't close your mouth there, it doesn't look like you're talking. Other words, especially the vowels, you can fake them a bit because you can mainly say all the vowels with a different shaped word. That way your mouth won't pop if you want to imitate all the like A, E, O, So those you can fake a bit. You can make them more subtle, or you can in between them, between the strong words like M's and P's. But the one you have to close your mouth, you have to close your mouth. That's like a rule. Are you ready? Okay. So and again, here you also just slowly close your mouth. And other than lip sync, I like the timing of the shot. Like I like how here it goes up very quickly the hand. Although there's a bit of a pop, I would maybe do an in between of one frame. But it's still very nice, and especially like the slow down you have here, like, and again fast here, like the timing while here is very nice. And again, timing is one of the most important things. So if you have that under control, then that's half the battle done. And I see you've played with the eyebrows later on, but maybe here I feel like they're a bit. He's so expressive, or you portrayed him that way, that here I feel like you could play more with the eyebrows. And here I just think he's losing a bit of balance when he's like that, and then he goes like just like that. And I think it's because you added the slight move forward too late, so all his movement had already finished, all the strength he was carrying, and then he still goes down a bit. I think that it looks like he is losing balance, But if you had added it quicker, if you just go to that pose faster, it looks like it's just, you know, pointing at something and then goes back. So you slow down a lot here, and then you keep going very slowly to this point, and then you go back. And I would make it go faster up to the final pose rather than to the breakdown here. So up here, I would slow down, not here.
Do you think, like, are you saying that he will be stops for, earlier or later? I didn't understand.
Yeah. So this pose should be sooner.
Mm.
So you can put it earlier, so that way instead of going like that and then like that, you go all the way like that. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this is very nice again. Like you have a very strong pose, and you go. The timing here is very nice. Same here. I like strong pose, and you go like in a very fast way. I think you can maybe give more time, a little bit more time, not a lot, to the in between here, because it looks like quite like a pop, even though it's not, because you have the in betweens there. But it's so fast that it looks like, I don't know, it looks like he's completely changing his attitude. And also something is not very important, but same thing with Shere Khan on the other demo reel, is that I can see like this hand here, that either you had that in the model sheet or you do it very well and you liked it, and you were afraid to move it, so you basically like kept it the same for all that part instead of rotating again, because then you go like, oh, it's like you were afraid to draw it in the in between of these two poses. And then here again another pop. It's very nice, the action of him putting out the eyebrows, but it's super fast, so it just looks like it's like a pop, you know. And here I think it's very exaggerated, like his head is going very, very back, you know, unnecessarily high. I mean, it's well drawn and it's possible to go there, but I think it's overacted, like you go like, and yeah, and when he comes back, I think his head should be higher, I think, or I don't know what it is, but I think the line of his eyebrow is the same. So when his head comes back, it looks like, like for example, if my eyebrows are here at this level and it goes up, now they're up here, and then when they go down, they're back to this line, right?
Yeah.
But here it seems like it's they're up here now, and then when they come down, they're also there, you know. So it seems like volume or the model is wrong. So I think this head should be higher because you know, all your face goes higher when your head goes back. I don't know if you see what I mean, but okay. Other than that, it's very nice. But just again, I'm pointing out like small things, you know. Overall, it's very good. So here, I have no comments. It's perfect. It's very good. I hate animating water. I can't even do this, so you know, well done. This one is very nice as well. Like it's very, as I said, it's very specific of someone diving underwater. So if you had a reel where you already show all kinds of things, it's good to have this. This is like something extra. But because you're missing your body mechanics, you know, it's better to have that before this. Of course, I wouldn't take this away, but you know, this is something extra that you're missing an important part. So just to point like small details, but again, it's very good, so it's unnecessary. But I think like the way the t-shirt moves underwater, it was better the thing you did on the first Kung Fu Panda shot. So here it looks like these lines here, they're just moving up, you know, whilst this stays more or less the same. But I would have more lines like this, like you did in the Cape of the Kung Fu Panda shot. Like underwater, they would move slower, but you would also have that waving effect. So you do have a bit of it, like here it's a bit of a wavy line, but I don't think these lines are necessary. I think you can play with more with like the whole shape of it, and this can be just a small detail. It doesn't need to reach the end of the t-shirt. You can have it up to here. And that's one small thing I like. Here, the hair, it's very nice how it comes into the water. It's like it's following the movement, the overlap, the pull of the body going down. But then at some point underwater, it's very hard to do the hair because it goes all over the place in all directions, and they all move wavy in all directions. But here it seems like at some point, when it should be going all the directions, you know, when his head is turning around, it seems like you're drawing him again out of the model sheet. Like this shape here seems like the shape of the model sheet of his hair. You know, I can picture this being a part of the model sheet of the character.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it should be going, you know, like, don't be afraid to really like make his hair go everywhere. I don't know, maybe not, but you know, I think that's just my opinion. Yeah. So when he comes in, it makes sense that there's only one direction of the hair because he's falling down. So there's only one direction there to go. But when his body's slowing, it starts to slow down towards the end of the shot. That's when I think his hair can start going in different ways. Again, the shot is very nice. I have nothing to say. Again, it's one like an extra shot. It doesn't tell me a lot. But if you had all the other necessary things on a reel, this is great to have. But I wouldn't prioritize this on the reel. Of course, if you want to be an FX animator, it's good to have it because you have a lot of FX shots, of course. Then ignore what I'm saying. But yeah, I would make sure you do a body mechanics exercise or something. This is nothing to say. This is a beautiful shot. Like, it looks though like it's the TV Paint action where you draw something and it follows the animation. I don't know if it's that or not.
I'm not sure.
No.
What do you mean? No, it's completely frame. Yeah, hand drawn.
Then it's great. Yeah, then I have nothing to say. It's very nice. Yeah, all of these I have nothing to say. Like, it's effects, it's very nice. It's very beautiful. The composition here is super nice. It's a very nice way, I think, to end your demo reel. Like, even you can have put your contact here, like underneath, towards the end of the shot. You know, you can end it with this, with the eye, because again, you don't have your contact. I don't know the software you used, but you know. Yeah, I think that's everything. The main things I put here is that be careful with the lip sync. That's the thing that really, you know, stands out. And also nothing to show that you can animate weight, which I'm sure you can, but you know, it's good to see on the demo. Do you have any questions?
Yeah, thank you so much for your feedback. And maybe you have some tips for a person who is in the beginning of animation career, how to improve animation skills, maybe to watch live action a lot, frame by frame or something like that.
Yes, I think anything you do is going to help. If you analyze like live action references, of course, it's going to help. I think for me, what helped was doing 3D animation, because when you go, I've never done stop motion, but maybe it also helps. But when you move from one like technique to another, you learn from all of those, and then when you go back to 2D or whatever it is, you learn from all of it and you bring it to your skill set. So for example, if you're a 3D animator and you do 2D, that it helps to think about silhouette and posing. That in 3D maybe you don't think as much, or you do, but you know, it helps if you know how to draw. And on the other, vice versa, if you know how to do 2D and you go to 3D, you start forcing yourself to do poses and like weird drawings that you wouldn't do because they're hard to do, because they're not part of the model sheet, or they're ugly drawings. You know, it's always hard to draw like a face like up here or down here. But knowing that in 3D you would do it, then you force yourself to do it. And another tip is that animation takes a long time. Before I went to Gorillaz, I was in a school that they kept sending me homework, and I had a very little time to do each shot. Like I had to do a walk cycle, then a bird flying, and everything like from one week to the next. And then in Gorillaz, they give you like 2 months to do like one acting job. And that's how you learn, and you fight with you know, you're not fighting time, you're doing the best work you can possibly can. So don't be afraid to take a long time to do one like 3-second job. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's all. Do you have more questions?
And that's all for now. Thank you so much.
Cool. Diego, now girls will present themselves because we didn't start with this. So they will explain what they're doing now because they already finished their education, and they will just tell about themselves.
Okay.
We have, it was first question for Corinne was how she starts to do animation, why, and so on. So she started to answering about it, like she started thinking about animation after coming to Russian event that it's in Moscow. Like it's where all animators of Russia come, and there is a conference like ANSI, but without showing films, just the MIFA part.
Yeah.
Russian ANSI.
Yeah.
Kind of. Hopefully it will be someday. Okay. Actually, she started studying animation before in Tashkent in Uzbekistan, and after this event in Moscow, she actually discovered all world and like bigger world of animation, and she left and she after that she left her university to study here in our school, in online school. Karina saying that she is preparing for Gobelin.
Okay, cool. Good luck.
Actually, she started to thinking about it a long time ago, before getting to our classes here, and our school, animation school online. It's like a first part on this road to get there.
Okay, perfect. Well, I really recommend it. You know, don't stop until you get there.
Thank you.
She started learning in French 2 years already. So.
Oh, wow.
I just because of Gobelin changed the rules last year, so she was thinking about first year, but now she confused a bit and she have to think about what to do, maybe master, maybe not.
The international master is better than French.
Okay, so my name is Lera. I'm from Kyiv, Ukraine. I worked mostly as a motion designer and 2D animator in After Effects. Currently, I'm based in Berlin, and I did 2 internships in here. 1 year ago, I started studying traditional animation with Edward, and 1 month ago, I've been accepted to master program in Gobelin.
Oh, wow.
Question was like how she started from motion, why she changed from motion design to animation frame by frame. So because she always wanted it, she always liked it, and also she found our classes, and it changed everything. She found out about my courses like very, very crazy way. Like she getting course from my student who teached illustration, and from her she came to me, and then to Gobelin. So it's like, yeah. Okay, I will ask you, Diego, like kind of same questions, but tell us about what you get after Gobelin. Do you happy about results, and how it changed your life?
Yeah, of course. It's the best decision of my life to go to Gobelin, because if I see my work before, it's very bad. But I think I really improved at Gobelin. They really push you. Like everyone around you, all the students are so good that you're really motivated to learn, and you learn from your classmates even more than your teachers sometimes. And studying at Gobelin really opens a lot of doors. And I've gotten a lot of job offers because I studied at Gobelin. Sometimes even one time I got a job offer without them seeing my work, just because I said Gobelin. And in France, it's more common to see people from Gobelin or other really good animation schools, but in Spain, it's very rare. So it really helped me like get jobs in Spain and England.
Yeah, and after all, like, did I don't know about your projects that you get, everything. It's you're happy about the results of the year because you're already here like a graduator. How to say? Like like freelancer.
I in fact, for example, The Line was one of the studios that I really wanted to work in, and I got an internship whilst I was a student at Porral. I graduated, I interned, and since then I've worked in 3 of their projects, and so I'm very happy. And that's thanks to Gorillaz, because before that my level wasn't even close enough to being good for The Line.
Now we're getting slowly promotion of Goblan, kind of. Cool. And now you're working on your own short film, right?
Yeah, from a Spanish TV channel.
Nice. So I think we can answer some questions from the chat, maybe.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
There is. I mean, Sergey can tell us, can read some. I mean, we just told. Okay. There is a question for Karina. There is maybe not for Karina, just in general. It would be enough to have a skill, animation skill like Karina does, to get some jobs in industry and get some money.
So is that a question for me?
I don't know. Maybe we can ask first Diego, because you have the most experience from us.
Yeah, of course, yes. There's jobs in animation. There's so many jobs right now. I actually studied architecture before, and there's hardly any jobs as an architect. But turns out animation is full of jobs, and even now with the lockdown, a lot of advertising agencies that do live action cannot record anything, so they're starting to do animation because you can do it from home. So it's actually booming right now, at least in London. I don't know, of course, in the rest of the world.
A question for you. Like in the beginning, you told us that recruiters could see per day like hundreds of 50 reels. Does it really like competition so high in this studio that you mentioned before, like Nexus, The Line, and so on?
Yeah, I think, for example, in The Line, for sure, there's a lot of competition. They get hundreds of, for internship, just for internship, they get, I think it was 700 submissions last year.
Yeah.
For jobs, I don't know, because every job is different styles. Sometimes like Gorillaz is a different style and they have something more anime. So I think they get people depending on their reel, they can all be amazing animators, but if you have something more anime, they will go for that. And so I don't know how that works in that sense, because they don't say we are looking for animators for this anime project, So I don't know how many submissions they get for that. I think they already know people and they try to hire them, and if they're busy, they ask for a recommendation. I think that's how they get other jobs. But yeah, but I think it's because The Line is a very, very small studio. I think Nexus and Golden Wolf, for example, are bigger. Nexus is huge, and they do all kinds of stuff like 3D and stop motion stuff and 2D. So they do post their offers in LinkedIn and in Instagram. So I think the demand for them is high. So I would, if I were you, I would follow all the studios in social media and to see when they actually offer openings. Yeah, and also it really helps if you go to festivals and you meet people, and that way you get not the, like, for example, in Nexus and Golden Wolf, I got the job there because I met someone, so I emailed their email instead of the generic email, And for example, The Line is small, so the generic email, the people who answer them is people from the studio, like directors from the studio. But in Nexus, it's so big that the generic email is not the person who's going to hire you. So try to meet people from the studio. And also, not the email, on Instagram as well. Like, I think Golden Wolf has like 100,000 followers. So if you send them a message, they're not going to answer. But the directors or the some of the people who work there, they have like maybe like 1,000 followers. So if you send them a message through there, they're going to read it. So
Okay, I will ask Diego. Diego, you mentioned that you did, for example, in the first study, a walk cycle very fast, like 1 week for walk cycle, 1 week for something else. Like the person who asked also did some walk cycle, and it was not enough time to finish. How it should be? How long it should be? You think this exercise to finish everything?
Yeah. Well, it's difficult to say depending on your character, the detail it has. It's and I think my first exercise at Gobelin was a quadruped, like either a cat or a dog walking. I think they gave us a month, right, or something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think even if you have like a year to do a walk cycle, you can always keep adding details and making it perfect. You have to stop somewhere, but I think once you leave school and you do your own personal projects, for example, you don't have a deadline. So you need to decide at some point, okay, I'm done. This is, the best I can do now. So I think as long the time you need to do it is as long as you are happy with it, I think.
Yeah.
And if you don't know if you're happy with it, then ask for feedback. And once no one else can give you any feedback, then you can stop.
Yeah, second folk cycle always better. Yes, I have a question for you, Diego. There is some specifications in animation for TV, for example, TV clips, like for music animation, for example, like Gorillaz. There is some difference between like normal animation for commercials, I don't know, and for like that.
Sorry, I don't understand the question. What do you mean?
In the process.
I guess yes, but the things, yeah, I think once you do like full animation, like it's like, for example, like traditional animation frame by frame, it's the same to do Gorillaz, or it's the same to do, like a graduation film, something like that. I think then in TV shows you have cutouts and you have like small rigs for 2D animation. I think that's different. But when you do like traditional animation, it's the same doing a Gorillaz thing. It's just adapting the model sheet to a different style.
Maybe only does you work with music? Did you like maybe make some animation to some beats, maybe, or not, or it just a movement?
Yeah, I think I've never done that, because in Gorillaz it doesn't go with the rhythm,
but the thinning, so it's also it's like the same, like just acting, like lip sync.
Yeah, I think it's just similar to acting, because the director, Jamie Hewlett, one of the members of Gorillaz, who's the artist also, he knew what wanted to happen in each scene. So even if they're singing, he was like, okay, I want him to do this.
Yeah, Diego, I have a question, like maybe more philosophic for you. What do you think the most difficult on the way of animator?
The most difficult what of an animator?
On the way, on the road to become an animator, good animator. What do you think the most difficult? Like with what you have to deal with, for example, I know some.
Yeah, if it's
maybe you have a head.
Yeah. You mean in 2D animation, right?
Yes.
But I think in 2D animation, it's like drawing, being able to not only draw well, but being able to keep the volumes and draw the characters in weird positions that are not necessarily explained in the model sheet. Because I think timing is, you can always play with it and keep seeing it until you think it's perfect. But the other thing other than timing is doing the poses, and sometimes those poses are very weird or difficult drawings. And yeah.
Okay, another question from the chat, just like a bonus. How to get rid of habits to always redo animation? Like redo, like always, like redo again and again to because you're not feel it, right or perfect.
Yeah, I don't know. I think when you work at a studio and you have deadlines, you don't have enough time, so you'll have to like accept the animation you've done, even though you don't think it's perfect, or they'll give you feedback and they'll give the improvement that you need. But yeah,
Like
it's always hard
if you artist, you like a Miyazaki, what what have to keep you from redo animation?
yeah, I don't know. I'm not Miyazaki, so.
Yeah, okay.
But I think yeah, it's always as an artist, any artist, even when you do oil paintings or whatever, it's hard to know when to stop. So I think everyone struggles with that. I think there's no answer.
So we have last question to you. What could you recommend to improve skills of timing, body mechanics, maybe some books, some tips that you use?
Yeah, it's specifically for body mechanics, or
for example, yeah, because it was the question, body mechanics, timing.
Yeah, I think yeah, observing either from films or like real life, when you like imagine you are doing a man, I don't know, is doing skateboarding, and you've never done skateboarding yourself, it's hard to know the timing of a jump or whatever, right? But if you're very good at skateboarding and you see an animation of a skateboarder, you will immediately see if there's mistakes on the timing, right? So I guess whenever you start an animation, whatever it is, if it's like skateboarding, you know, jumping, running, whatever, you have to be like an expert in that, like watch a lot of video references, and that way your eye will become accustomed to the timings needed to do like a specific action. Yeah. So I think there's not one single book that will teach you about body mechanics in general, but yeah, every time you tackle a shot, make sure to do your background check first.
Thank you. Just saying like last word, like what we could like suggest to new animators, and Karina also suggest to not be afraid of difficult like ambitious shots. Just to prepare yourself to that, like study references, and it will be great, because like Karina said in the beginning, she was very very beginner, very beginner, and now she has a beautiful demo reel, and just not be afraid. Lara just said that when she decided to do the animation, like a lot of people suggest not to do that, and because like Disney is not like before and so on. But there is really a lot of opportunities, and she suggests to not be afraid, really, to do what they want, if people want to do animation like 2D. Okay, so maybe your turn, Diego. What you could suggest to new generation of animators?
Yeah, I agree with what Karina and Lara said totally. And I don't know, I would say to not be afraid to spend a lot of time doing something. Like animation takes a long time, and sometimes we're told we need to do it faster or something like that, or that we need to be as good as Disney on your first year, but it's a very slow process. And sometimes on Instagram it's demoralizing seeing the amazing stuff people do, like say, oh look, I'm 17 years old and I've done this masterpiece. Okay, but not everyone is like that. It's a very slow process, and it's okay. Like Richard Williams started animating when he was 40 years old, so don't be afraid to grow slowly at your pace. You know, it's I know it's hard nowadays with social media, but don't be, you know, disencouraged when you see amazing stuff that you will never get there, and you will if you keep working hard.
Diego, thank you very much.
Diego, thank you so much for your time, for your feedback, for your mastery, and hope to see you again somewhere and here again.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me. It's been great.